I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears. I've had a very, very sad week. I took in a new kitten that actually was born on my catio. The little stray cat that we call Wobbles had kittens. 2 of them didn't make it, and 3 survived, and I watched them kind of grow on my catio. And there was a gray one, a black one, and then one that was kind of salt and pepper. And the one that's salt and pepper took to me immediately. The other 2 really didn't have much to do with me. The little feller would follow me everywhere, and he'd come to me and let me hold him, and he'd purr. And I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with him, and I was like, no more cats, but I just fell in love with him. Anyway, he passed away yesterday on me. And anyway, I'm gonna do a podcast on, do animals go to heaven? I believe they do, but some people believe they don't. So I'm gonna kind of discuss this, and I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears. And yesterday, as of this recording, it's July 15th, 2026, I lost a little kitten that was born out on my catio to the neighborhood stray that we call Wobbles. She's a smoky gray cat. She's got an attitude. She's had several litters, but she's hard to catch, and she's kind of mean. But she kind of holed up in my catio and gave birth in my catio to 5 kittens. And when I cleaned when my friends came over and cleaned my catio, I didn't do much of the work. We found the kittens. 2 didn't make it. Then there was 3. We found 1, 2, 3, and the first one we found was a little salt and pepper kitten, colored kitten, and we set him down, and we found the black one with a smoky gray one, just like his mama, her mama. I think it was a girl cat. And I let him stay in the catio. The catio was originally built for my cats, so they could go outside and get some air. But Wobbles kind of took over and nursed her cats and protected them. They were in a safe place. And I watched them grow. And immediately the salt and pepper kitten took to me. On the very first day after we found him, he followed me out to my ride when I was going to work, and we had to secure him. He was a feisty little guy, and at that moment, immediately, I much to my chagrin, fell in love, because I was trying not to get attached to these kittens. I had thought about giving them away, and I do not like to give cats away. And then I thought they can just stay in the neighborhood and join the neighborhood tribe. And, but I found myself looking for him when I would come home. I didn't want to name them, because that was, once you name them, they're yours for sure. But the other 2 just never, ever would let me touch them or hold them or nothing. They just avoided me. And finally I picked the black one up, and he let me hold him for a minute, but he still wasn't trusting of me. And then the gray one, finally I got to pick her up too, and she was still just didn't get attached to me. But the little salt and pepper one would let me hold him, and he was a boy, obviously, and cuddle with him. And when I got home, I would just sit outside for about an hour and just watch them play with each other. you know how kittens are just adorable. They wrestle, and I kind of look forward to seeing them every morning because I love kittens. I think puppies and kittens and baby animals are just about the cutest thing you could possibly see. And it just put me in a good frame of mind, even though I was stressed about what am I going to do with these guys. And plus, oh God, cat food is very expensive. More mouths to feed. So it was kind of a daily routine for me for a couple months to feed them when I got home and then go in and feed them before I went to bed and feed them in the morning. They got fed 3 times a day because I feed my grown cats 2 times a day. Because I found that feeding them 3 times a day is A, expensive, and B, makes them a little overweight. So, but the kittens were a different story to me. They were growing, and I wanted them to be healthy. And that went on for a while, and eventually I named the salt and pepper kitten Vincenzo after Tony Vincenzo and Kolchak the Night Stalker. He just looked like a Vincenzo. And he came to his name. He immediately accepted the name. I'd yell Vincenzo and he'd run. And they started sneezing. And I'm like, oh boy. And I thought, well, they've been running under my house. They were getting out of the house more and out of the catio through this. My cats are fighting on me. Through this little hole in my foundation on my catio that I need to plug up. So they were getting in and out. So were the other stray cats. So sometimes I'd get out there in my catio, which the door is on and closed, but I'd get out there and there'd be 3 or 4. Oh, ouch. 3 or 4. Sorry, my cat just jumped on my foot, with their claws out. There'd be 3 or 4 other cats out there. And, so I was feeding all sorts of cats out there. But Vincenzo, he was just different among the rest. Now, eventually, in the last month or so, the other 2 kittens ran off and went to the neighbors or whatever, but they were all increasingly getting sick. And Vincenzo was just getting sicker and had gunky eyes and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, and it got really hot here in Southern Illinois. It was very, very hot outside, and they weren't reacting to it very well. And I was like, I've got to get him in the house. I just have to. And I worried about him being sick and my cats catching it, and I also worried about my cats not getting along with him because they don't get along with each other 99% of the time. But anyway, I did take him in. I nursed him. I cleaned his eyes daily. I gave him medicine. He didn't seem to have a fever. His appetite was good. He was not lethargic. All the symptoms of what I worried of what could be distemper. He had what seemed to me allergies. Now, I'm telling you, he needed to go to the vet, but I do not have the money for that right at the moment. And, I try to keep my animals healthy and safe and pray to God they don't get sick. So I was really concerned about bringing him in, but he came in and he did really well. He found his own little space, and when I fed him in the morning, I feed all my cats together. He was first in line to get his food. He would eat a whole can of cat food. He was eating good, but he wasn't gaining weight. And my cats did not accept him. But they also weren't overtly mean to him. They'd hiss at him and smack at him a little bit, but he'd just take it in stride and just get up there up front where he was. So I had him in the house about a month, and then he wasn't getting better, even with all my efforts. And I finally, he needed a bath. He wasn't grooming himself very well. So I gave him a bath, and I'm afraid that shock might have aided to his passing away. But I came home yesterday, and after he ate good. His eyes were matting shut, I should say, and I was having to work with him to get him to open back up. And he was looking really rough. I got him fairly clean. Water was filthy. But he ate good yesterday morning. I had to go to work at 6 a.m., so I fed him about 5:30. He got up, feisty little guy, but he seemed to be kind of wobbly on his feet. And when I got home at 2 o'clock and came in, he was laying in my bedroom floor on a little blanket that I knocked off before I left, and he was asleep. And I picked him up, and I could not wake him up. And I was holding him, and I could feel just the ever slight purr. And I laid down in bed with him, and I held him to my chest and close to my face and loved on him and kissed on him. I began to realize he was dying, and I prayed. At first I prayed to God to please not take him, and I begged Vincenzo not to leave me. And then he started to seemingly be suffering. His breathing changed, and he would let out a yelp like he was hurting. And I was at that point praying to God to please not let him be in pain and to do his will. And I knew I was letting him go. And once I did that, he started dying and let out one last little kitty yelp and was gone. And I tell you, when you have grief, and I have lots of it, I've talked about that in past podcasts. When you lose someone else, all that grief comes straight to the top again. And I literally wept for 2 hours. And my friend Travis messaged me and asked if I had posted, I should back up, I had posted on social media that he had passed. And I do that because I'm not trying to get attention, but just because in my mind, to feel better, to be somewhat creative, I can't really explain it too good. To just take the time to get your mind off, even though I'm doing it about that subject. I was trying to get my head together and to take the time to do a little tribute to him kind of helped me calm down a little bit. Plus, it made me feel better to just let the world know that Vincenzo is no longer here, that Vincenzo existed and he meant something to me. If that makes any sense. It made me feel better. It helped me with my grief. And my buddy Travis messaged me and offered to come bury him for me, and I said yes, please, because my feet were hurting and I don't know where my shovel is, and I wasn't mentally or physically capable of doing it at that point. It just drained me, and today I've been in bed all day. But the thought of, after 12 minutes of talking here, the thought of this podcast, do animals go to heaven? I immediately felt he did. I mean, I had prayed to God, and I had spoken to my parents and my sister and who are in heaven, that I know they're in heaven, to please watch out for him in heaven, and I'll be there. Save him for me. It was a very comforting thought. But I know I grew up hearing animals did not go to heaven, and I don't believe it. I believe they do go to heaven. I believe they have souls. I'm sitting here with my cats have been so sweet today because they know I've been feeling bad. But dogs and cats and any kind of animal that is has devoted feelings, and they have souls. How could you be just a thing? Just a soulless thing. They're not soulless. When they die, it's like a human dying. When they die and their soul is gone, it's just an empty shell. The life is gone. The spark, what makes you who you are, is gone, and it's just like an empty container laying there. And they don't even look like themselves anymore. So yeah, I do believe they go to heaven. And maybe that's just a comforting thought, but I honestly, in my heart, thoroughly believe they go to heaven. Now that I've told my story, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back with some ideology theories and things about this. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm talking about the question as to, do animals go to heaven? I lost my kitten, Vincenzo, yesterday, and held him in my arms and prayed over him and felt the life leave him. Again, that's the second time I've experienced the feeling of life leaving a body, and it feels supernatural, just like when my mom passed, and the feeling of peace that came over me. But it's a different story, losing your mother and losing a pet. It's a different kind of grief. And also, my mom was ready to go, and there was a part of me that was happy for her to rejoin my Father in heaven and our Father in heaven. But do animals go to heaven? I believe that they do. I just do. I cannot believe that such loving creatures would not. Such creatures that are so full of love and devotion could not have a soul. I just don't believe it. I looked up this subject on Google because, that's where we all go to look up things. And I saw what it had to say, and it was kind of interesting. Basically, it says there is no definitive theological or scientific answer, but many major world religions and scholars suggest that animals do have a place in the afterlife. Of course, they go on to say perspectives on this topic vary widely across different faith traditions and philosophical views. Sorry, it's the massacred philosophical. Anyway, it goes on to say, in Christianity, the Bible does not explicitly state whether our specific pets go to heaven. However, in biblical passages like Isaiah 11:6-9 famously depict animals, including predators and prey, living together in peace in the new creation. Furthermore, theologians like C.S. Lewis have speculated that because God created and loves animals, they may very well share in the eternal restoration of creation. And that's from Reddit. In Islamic religion, many Islamic scholars believe that animals possess their own forms of consciousness and spirits, The Quran explicitly notes that all living creatures and birds gather together to worship God and will be resurrected on the day of judgment to settle accounts. In Judaism, traditional Jewish teachings often support the idea that animals have souls, although typically interpreted as a breath of life rather than the immortal moral soul given to humans. Passages in the Talmud, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, express that God cares deeply for all his creations and even rewards animals for their suffering in this world. Of course, it also goes on that believers hold mixed opinions of the mechanics of an animal afterlife, only the thought of which is comforting, which is kind of where I am. It comes down to what I talk about a lot. It comes down to faith as to what you believe. And I do believe animals go to heaven, because how can such loving creatures not have a soul? Animals can give love, and they receive love, and they crave love. Love to an animal is as important as food, and love changes everything in an animal. An animal that is not loved is like a human. They don't, they're wild and feral, more or less. We have feral human beings, we all know that. Unloved creatures of any kind cannot show love. They're just basic survivalists. People will steal and beg and for things they need. I don't think homeless people and people that are desperate crave love. They might crave basic instinctual things like sex and hunger and, things like that, but they do not, oh, please love me. They're not going to do that. And if you don't love an animal or be loving towards an animal, they become savage. So love changes everything in a human heart and in an animal heart. So therefore, I do believe that animals have a soul, because if you don't feed a soul with positivity and love, it becomes dark and cold. To be evil or, that opens up a whole other can of beans there. Insects have the soul. It's just a strange thing. God's creatures, people that don't believe in God, would have to believe that animals don't have souls, because I don't think they have one. Can you imagine? I can't imagine not believing in a higher power. It just isn't in my fiber. I don't know. It seems so negative to be that way. But I find that interesting. I can remember one of my mom's ministers preaching that animals didn't go to heaven when my brother-in-law had gone to church. And my brother-in-law is an animal lover, and he was angry and wouldn't go back there. There's people out there that just think animals are nothing. I don't feel that way at all. So, anyway. It's funny when you seek out answers, what you find is more questions. So there is no real answer to this question. Do animals go to heaven? Like I said, it's what it all comes down to is what do you believe? It's all faith-based. It's all that's what it is. Anyway, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this has been my podcast From My Head to Your Ears, and this was kind of a tribute to my little kitty cat, Vincenzo, who was only with me just a little short while and just couldn't cut it in this world and passed on me yesterday. He was a sweet little animal, and I really hoped he'd get better, but it just wasn't meant to be. I try to think of reasons for why he was brought into my life. I have plenty of cats. I didn't need another one. Certainly can't afford it. But yet here he was, and what did I gain from it? I think what I gained from this experience was I want to say it opened up my heart to the question of, do animals go to heaven? And made me realize, yes, I do believe they do. I think I'm just a natural born caregiver, because I immediately started doing everything I could to save him. Just like when I took care of my mom, I just did everything I could to make her life comfortable. So it made me learn more about myself, I guess. I always try to find what was the lesson in this. I guess another lesson is just to keep your heart open. Don't ever shut yourself down to love, to be accepting, and you can never have enough. You can never have enough friends. You can never have enough love to share, and you should always try to help. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm very sad today. I've been in bed all day, and I just wanted to talk about this just for a minute or two. This is one of the shorter podcasts I'll ever have, because I really am feeling down today. But anyway, thank you for listening. Again, I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast From My Head to Your Ears. I love you all.